Oh, you guys are up for a treat. Please let me introduce Brad Hinkle. Brad is, oh my God, Vice President of Operations for Redline Athletics. He is overseeing 56 locations plus states, 10 years of experience in franchise management, athlete performance training. Brad is also franchise owner. He is everything. He is helping businesses and he is a business, right? He helped companies scale over $12 million in annual revenue. He knows a lot of things in operation efficiency and driving significant revenue growth. Brad, so glad to have you on the call today. And I'm going to give you mouse control so you can take it. Okay, it's all yours. Floor is yours, Brad. Take it over. And you're muted. I think you guys have to unmute it. I just asked you for a mute. It should come up on your screen. Thing to say unmute.
There we go. You got me?
Yes.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry
I
about
gave you mouse control, and in the same time, I asked you to unmute yourself, so it was
We'll
kind of
figure it out. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Man,
contradicting.
I appreciate it. I'm really excited about this. Just to start off with where my brain is at this year. If you guys follow college basketball, put who you think is going to win this title in the chat, please. And if anybody says the University of Michigan, then I'll give you an extra shout out. Just to say it can be brown nosing. I don't know. And Jokic isn't in college, but hey, we'll take him anyway. I love his post game interviews. So, man, I'm enjoying this. I actually would love to jump into some of these chat rooms with you guys too. I know Dave, that's exactly what we're looking at right now. We've got a process I thought was pretty good and been working well until I hear what you talked about. So, appreciate you guys sharing that stuff, and I'm learning a whole bunch myself too. So. I'm Brad. Yeah, I've been at Redline for a while, and just a little quick background on me. I started actually as an intern, and it won't let me click through, so maybe it didn't give me a mouse control. But I started as an intern here at Redline back in 2007, not knowing what I wanted to do. And just to speed up a little bit too, we started franchising in 2013. In 2018, I moved out here to Scottsdale, Arizona to help continue to grow the brand. And then I became an owner about 2 years ago. So I've seen a lot of growth through the process. And really my job starting off was to help support every location opening. And really the front of the house was a big part of it. And understand that that's more than just sales when it comes into selling. So my big topic I want to dive into today is a true story, and how when I bought the location that I bought, I increased the prices and raised the closing percentage at the same time, even when being told directly to my face that we were overpriced for this area. And I just disagreed with that. I'm a huge fan of what we're going to talk about, and we talk about this a ton with our staff, and it's echoing a lot of what I just heard earlier from you guys today too. So glad to see that this is going to resound with you guys as well. So yeah, so the first thing we'll talk about in getting into the day, it won't let me click through, Andre, so you may have to click for me. As we get into is the fact that we train kids. I don't care if you're training adults. I don't care if you're doing a hair salon. I don't care if you're doing other things. People come for content. There's a reason they're coming. I'm trying to lose weight. For us, we're trying to get faster, throw a ball harder, the sports performance side of things. There's a reason why they're coming, but they stay because of connection. I mean, I love that earlier. Listening to you guys talk about the culture that you're building and why. But we need to grab onto that with those staff members who are doing the communicating, the selling, the vendors you heard earlier who are doing the marketing. They need to be aligned with that piece of it too. There's a reason why someone's going to come in to your business and whatever you're doing, and that's valid. It could be a referral, sure, but they still have a need that they're coming in with. But they're going to stay because they've connected with you. And it really starts with day one as the most important day for them to come in. So the first day is the best day, and there's three pieces I want to make sure we touch on this next slide here. And number one is the welcome process. So what is it that you guys have your staff do from the initial phone call, email, text campaigns? That communication process is very important. What's the tone you're setting? What questions are you asking? He who asks the most questions wins. We need to listen more than we speak. All these things that you guys have heard a lot, they're so true. But make sure that we listen and hear about how we can meet a need before we create a need. So put a one in the text if you can. If you guys started as a trainer and are now an owner, or started as a hairdresser and are now an owner, or started as the deliverer of the product and now you own the business. And that was me. I literally started as an intern, and on day one they gave me a dad I didn't know, and I'm in a sports performance facility for kids. And I was like, "You kidding me? What are we doing?" Fast forward and here we are. So that's our brain, right? We love to fall back on what we're comfortable with, and we may love to work out. We may like put people through workout. Rarely is it business people who are trying to open another business and they pick a training facility or something you guys are doing. So we know that that's our natural bent, right? We need to focus on not just do they get there, but how do we get them into your facility and to be an incredible member. We've got to make sure that welcome process is done well. I love, Dave, you talked about the scripting of those things. If your process doesn't have SOPs, if it's not scripted, then it's going to be easy to change when a new person steps into that role, and that's tough. And I'm in the franchising space, and we try and build as much scripting as we can possible, and we always have more things that we need to get improvement on. Second piece is the actual workout itself. Our focus is on young athletes. Our average member in our main program is about 12 years old. I love it. You saw a picture of my family. I've got kids who are in that age group too. My two requirements in hiring a staff member: number one, you need to know what you're doing. You got to have some kind of education. We don't want to, hire people who don't know what they're doing. And number two, you got to love kids. Period. The end. We can teach the rest, right? You guys can teach the other pieces of it. But if my staff members love kids and they get them to do my two favorite words at the bottom, enjoy improvement, then they're going to come back. So the first workout for those kids, if we're being empathetic and putting ourselves in their shoes, they're nervous. They don't know what's happening. They think they're walking into a gym where they're going to blast Metallica and throw weights around. I've heard this before. You can tell who the new kid is because they walk in the door and they got that look on their face, right? The new member is, or whoever's coming into your facility. I need to make sure they have a blast on day one. That's the priority. And so when I bought this location, that wasn't the priority from the previous. So it was very scripted with, this is a focus on, we need to measure shin angles on your lunges and have an assessment about things. And it was kind of doctoral type of a feel, and it just was not focusing on enjoyment. And so we flipped that script, right? And then the last piece of it too, we'll touch on, is the focusing on finishing. There still needs to be a process. You just heard Dave's a little bit too, like, what are we doing to make sure we ask for the sale? And it blows my mind, and supporting the dozens of locations I have too, that's the nervous thing for people to do, is to actually stop and ask for a card and ask for the commitment. Not even ask for it, but to say, which one would you like to do? It's between yes and yes. And I have a picture of our membership, and we actually built a patent pending membership because of the need that our families have and the uniqueness and the fact that we're marketing to mom and dad, but we have kids and they have schedules and they have siblings. And so we built a flex membership to meet that need, but we've got to finish those suckers, right? In order to show the value, you've got to make sure that stuff happens really well. So my favorite phrase on the next slide here is taught to me when I was young in business as well. And my staff was chuckling when I was talking about this call because they knew I was going to say it. And that is, money is only an issue in the absence of value. And I'll say it again, money is only an issue in the absence of value. What that means is money is not always an issue, right? Like, they're coming in because those people love what it is that you do, whether they're trying to get a haircut, lose weight, get stronger, be a better athlete, whatever that is, they're here for a reason. And so there's two things I'm going to ask you guys at the end to give me which one you fit in. You're going to fit in one of these two boats. Number one, you need to be better at creating value in your first day to acquire more members on that day. Or number two, we need to raise our prices because nobody cares about the pricing and you're closing like crazy. And either way, we're in one of those two boats together. I noticed when I bought the facility and took over and dove in, there was a real low-hanging fruit for me just to make sure day one was way better. And we actually asked for the sale at the end, and we blow up that value balloon and make sure the families have a blast in what they're doing in here. The kid has a blast, parents see the value. There's details inside of that we won't get to today. But if we make sure that the value is shown, then the money is not going to be a problem. In fact, I started a high performance program, double the rate of our regular membership, haven't marketed yet, and we just had a dozen kids sign up in the last 2 months too. So just kind of proof in the pudding that you show value in what it is you are doing, then it's going to make sense for families, for the members, for whoever it is that you guys are marketing to. So next slide, we're going to talk about what does it mean to be valuable. How do we show value in that pre-assessment communication? It's the way that you talk to them on the phone. It's the way that the style that you're communicating with your staff and not just you. It was me. I worked in my business for a long time until I started realizing I need to work on it. And now we got to train more people to do a good job. But that was a piece that's hard to really let go and let people lead on is the style of communication. Are you welcoming? Are you encouraging? Are you understanding? Are you empathetic? And not everybody has that. To be real honest, the better you are as a trainer, the probably the worse you are at this, right? And maybe vice versa. So let's make sure we put aces in their places. In the ABCs, I like to talk a lot about always be closing, not closing a membership, but closing what the next step is. If we're on the phone or communicating with somebody and they haven't been in, the close is I've got to get your butt in the door. Right. And now Dave will talk about, I need your friends to come with you too. It'd be a great time to get them to get rolling as well. But that's the closing on a phone call. We see too many people on the sales side who are trying to like get all the way to a decision on a membership and they haven't even shown up yet. Right. Second of all, we got to display value in that first in-person opportunity. We have a character development platform that we have little baller bands for kids to wear because kids love that stuff. And we have a character trait. We have 10 of them and we have one character trait that they can earn. This has nothing to do with how high they can jump, how fast they can run, all those things. It has everything to do with effort, integrity, compassion, empathy, leadership. The day one when they walk in, it's a bright green band that says courage, trying something new. And we celebrate that, give a band to the kid. Now that you can visibly see some of those walls come down. And the bigger thing is it's mom and dad for me who are paying for it, that they see the value in what we're giving that kid and connecting with them in an opportunity. That band cost me like 17 cents a band. And I'm trying to throw them as much as I can because kids love those things too. Right. So how do we get them to enjoy improvement? That's up to the trainers on the floor, but that's a priority for them. Now they see a kid with the bright green band on. Two things happen. Number one, the trainer now has a script that they kind of follow to help them feel welcome and keeps an eye on that athlete throughout the process to make sure they have a blast. And number two, the other members have an opportunity to earn a leadership band because they want to help that new member out as well. So create this culture of improvement on a day when I know that kid's going to be nervous and maybe they didn't even want to come in. So how do we make an impression with them? We got to have a process ready. And the last thing for you guys too is the price point should match the value that you've shown. And not even what you think you should charge, but have you shown the value that you're showing in the price point too? And there's intentional options for that, right? So we're a fan of not having a cheesecake factory worth of membership options, right? We have a flex membership that members can change on their own, or the family can too, but it's intentional in how we built it. And it's based on market research, and we're proud of it. In fact, we're going to be raising prices soon. I don't like raising prices on active members, but I do like raising prices when you start seeing closing percentages up. Nobody's commenting about pricing. My rent goes up 3% every year. The staffing goes up. Some of that makes sense, but also sometimes we sit still, too long. So make sure there's a purpose behind it and be proud of that, right? There's always somebody charging less than you and somebody charging more than you, no matter where you are in the marketplace. And if we can own that and be okay with that person walking out if they felt like the price wasn't where it should be, then that's fine. But one of the seven devils we have written on our wall, one of them is overgeneralization. Just because one person said you're too expensive doesn't mean you really are. So we got to make sure we keep an eye on what the feedback is as you're rolling through things. But if we show value in what we're doing, that entire first opportunity, from the phone call to the in-person to the athlete, or for us athlete, or for you guys member, doing their actual session and then finishing up with a membership that makes sense, that's going to help you raise closing percentages. Last piece of it here is a challenge I give my staff that's really never going to be proven, but I love to say this. If you doubled the price of your membership overnight, how many members would stay? And this ties into, yes, it's not just day one, it's long-term, but man, that would be hard. Like, I bet if we double prices overnight for all of our businesses, we're going to lose people. They're going to be like, oh man, it's probably not worth whatever your rate is times two. And that's a challenge for all of us. How do we make sure we continue to show value after day one? How do we make sure those kids, for us, the members, for you guys, or whoever it is in the industry, how do they continue to come back and continue to say yes? And that's the value you provide, the community, the stuff you've heard from these incredible owners as well too is so spot on. And it's easier said than done. It takes time. It takes the right people. It takes intentionality and making sure that you guys are making a priority to make value what the members need to have. So that's a big part for me. I mean, day one, I think, is a good way of setting the foundation for that long-term membership. And if we drop the ball, if we don't respond on time, if we do a bad job on day one, they're never going to be, coming, not just signing up, but also staying for a while and make sure this is a place that they get a result from.